that's enough for this take. Plus I hear kids and cars and trucks. Hi, it's Dave from BAM Guitars. I'd like to welcome you to the channel, and what's the first of, I'm hoping, many videos to build unique instruments, cigar box guitars, and many other things that I'd like to help you build. We're going to have many things coming up, tips, techniques, full builds, but mostly what I would like to do, what I'm hoping to do, is to answer some questions. I hope in the comments there are people out there who are hesitant. You know, they want to try this, they see the videos or they see people playing, and they want to try and build themselves. I don't even play guitar, but I build things. I spent over 35 years in Hollywood doing special effects for the movies and television, and in that you have to come up with all kinds of unique ways of doing things. So that just lent itself to this. But building them, you know, is a whole different thing. You know, my son, he plays them, and this is how this all started. But the first time, I guarantee, you know, you watch things, and the first time you put one together yourself, and you strum it, even if it's out of tune, but it sounds like a guitar, and you go, holy cow, I made a guitar. It's fantastic, and then you get hooked, and then you want to tweak it, or you want to change it, or you do want to do one different. And like I said, we've made bass guitars, we've made 6-string guitars, we've made 6-string cigar box guitars, ukuleles, banjos. I can show you all of that. I have lots of techniques to show you that will make it so you can do it too. But mostly it's just the thought that you can, because you can. I guarantee you can. It's a stick in a box, you know. You won't regret it. It's fun. It can be challenging, but you don't need too many things that are specific. You don't need too many specialty things. You don't need any, actually, but there are certain things, tuners and stuff, you know, make things a little bit easier. But other than that, you know, you don't have a part for a bridge, you use a bolt, you use a hinge, you use a door striker plate. Everybody, you know, does that. There's something out there that I haven't even seen, or nobody else has seen, that you have, that you want to use. And that's what you can use. You're probably looking at it right now going, that thing's been sitting on the shelf, you know, for months or years, and you've always thought about turning it into, or my grandfather gave me this box and it would be cool to turn it into a guitar. We've made and sold many guitars that people don't even intend on playing. They do them because they're subjects they like, movies they like, steampunk, rock music, their ticket stubs, their favorite band, their favorite video game. You know, we've done people's just names, initials, and they put them on the wall for decorations, or give them as gifts. You know, I'll show you all that. I'll show you how to, you know, it's your imagination. But I mean, there are techniques, there's ways to go about it. There's plenty of other videos out there. People do similar things, but there are a few things we've tried that I've not seen anybody else do. And it's a thing that might make it more in reach for you. And that's what I'm desperate to do. You know, not only that, but just what's the stumbling block? You know, like I said, back working on the movies, there wasn't a day that went by that we didn't get called into the office and go, we need to make this. And it's something you've never seen before, never done before. We need that by Thursday, you know, and you go, well, okay, I guess we're doing this thing. It's the same thing. You know, you'll do it. You'll go, I want to make a guitar, you know, scale length this, but my board's an inch too short, so now I got to come down a scale length. Well, you come down a scale length, or you make a way to make it longer, or whatever. There's a million ways to do it, a million. And I know you can. And hopefully if you're watching this, it's because you have an interest and you want to, or maybe you already do and you just want to see what somebody else is doing. That's fine too. We're going to do all of that. These are some of the guitars we've made in the past. Some are still available, some for sale, some we just do, you know, for us. In other videos coming up, we'll be showing even more. My son will be playing and doing videos and demos on that. Like I said, I don't play, but you know, if anything is going to make you pick one up and try, it's going to be something you made yourself. I can't stress it enough how exciting it is when you finally decide you're going to do it and you do. I mean, to hold it in your hand, something you made, is really great. So how did all this start? As I said, for 35 years I worked in Hollywood doing special effects for movies and television. And in the shop I worked in, there were so many talented people. There were people that were concept artists and sculptors, people that did painting and hair, and people that could fabricate. They do fabrication just out of foam and stuff, made their own patterns to make stuff. There were mold makers and people that then took the molds and ran the specific materials out of them, foam or plastic or silicone or whatever was needed. And then there was my department. We were mechanics. We would make stuff move and do all kinds of things. In and amongst that group of very talented artists, there were a few people there that were also professional musicians. They were in bands and did recording and did touring when they could, and through exposure to them, because sometimes we would stay after work and work on our own personal stuff or come in on the weekends or lunch hours or whatever, they would work on guitars. They would end up back in my area because we had power tools and different things back there. I would get to see what they were doing, and it was real luthier stuff, you know, because their stuff was name brand, real, sometimes vintage instruments, these guitars. And you know, God bless them, because not only could they play them and play them well, if something needed to be changed or repaired or something, they took it upon themselves to learn and do it on their own. And it was always way beyond my pay grade with most things to help. I could help them set up tools and give a little advice on certain things, but not when it came to repairing a guitar and you know, the super duper, you know, whatever essential oils and shellacs and stuff that you could only use on a full moon, you know, on a Wednesday. To repair these things was way, I was so intimidated, and I was like, well, I'm glad you're doing it and not me. Cut to years later, I have children of my own, and my son Aiden decides he's going to get a guitar. He's already a musician in school, you know, playing in the band, and he gets a bass and some guitars and this and that, and after a while, one of them needs a repair. To be honest with you, I think it was the bass, and I don't even remember what it was, but he came to me and I'm like, oh boy, you know. So, you know, trying to be a good dad, I go on the internet, I go on YouTube, I try and find people that repair and build guitars to see if possibly I could figure out how to fix his. And I come across these people. They're making cigar box guitars. There were many of them, but the ones that really stuck out, there was a guy named Del Puckett, and he was very good and very encouraging and showing people what to do and that anybody could do it. And there was a guy named Michael from Southern Fire Guitars. I think his was the first video I watched. I was like, what is this about? What is this guy doing? He's making these guitars with not super expensive luthier tools, and he's making guitars and playing them. Oh, him and Del playing these guitars, and I thought, this is something. So through going all that, I found out how to fix my son's guitar, and then I went on about my way, got a cigar box and got a stick and figured out, you know, how to do a fretboard. And it was all very intimidating, but I did it. I did the first one, and I couldn't believe it. You know, you strum it and you go, I made a guitar. And I showed it to my son, and I handed it to him, and he strummed it, and I went, look, I made a guitar. And he went, well, you made an out-of-tune guitar, Dad, but we're going to fix that. We're going to take care of it. And he did, and played it, and from then on, you know, well, what's the next one? What's the next one? Then he would come to me, how about this? And he would show me a picture. And from there, you know, we made a fair few instruments. And like I said, I can't play them, he can, but whatever we make, he can play, and he's come to me with a few things. There was a thing Les Claypool plays called a whamola, and he took me several sketches and drawings and pantomime and whatever to get the point across what that was supposed to be, and I don't even know how to begin to explain it to you. We're just going to have to show it to you sometime, but we made one of those, and banjos and ukuleles, and you know, the point is, once you get the excitement, once you do it, once you realize that you can and you do one, then you're on. Then you go, next time I'm going to do this, and next time I'm going to do that, and you'll do it. And I know you can. I know you will. So yeah, there you go.